Welcome back, I am Captain Xavier, and I like all things modular, and as such, as you can imagine, the Modulus line has been just pure gravy for me from day one, because that's what it is. And you also should know by now that I like gizmos. So when they came out with a Modulus night vision actual zooming scope, well, I just had to have it. But it was not exactly cheap. Then Black Friday rolled around, and it was on super sale. Or it might have been the Cyber Monday. I don't know. But I ordered it. It was like 17 bucks, which was way cheaper than it normally is. So I snagged it, and I wanted to go ahead and open it on camera because this is just the neatest gizmo that Nerf has come out with in a while. Not the neatest gizmo that I have recently acquired. But we will get into that eventually. But I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show it off. I'm sure it has been done many times before, but not by me, so. Aha! A manual. Probably a good thing to read in this case. Install the batteries. I do have batteries. Attach. Bright light, low light selector switch. Important. To avoid battery leakage, always follow instructions carefully. Only use batteries specified to be sure to insert them correctly by matching them. Do not mix old batteries and new batteries. Remove exhausted or dead batteries. Remove batteries. Rechargeable batteries. Do not mix these with any other types of batteries. Yes. Should the product cause or be affected by local electrical interference, move it away from other electrical equipment. Reset. Switch off. Switch back on again. And reinsert batteries, if necessary. Increase zoom, decrease zoom. Low battery icon. Oh, cool. Right then. Seems fairly straightforward. Give me my gizmo! All right, we are in. So, interesting. See, now that's a lovely feature, which we will get to. Okay, yep. That's the coolest gizmo Nerf has come out with in a really long time. Oh, yeah. I love it. Alright, so as the instructions would suggest, there is a power switch. Turn it off, turn it on, and it just becomes a regular scope. And it is a camera, obviously. It's not just like a magnifying glass scope. It is an actual camera scope, and so you can then turn it to low light, or what should be hypothetically night vision. I'll test it here in a second. And then it's got zoom. It goes up to a 5 zoom, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's obviously not, the highest granularity, but it works. It does magnify fairly impressively, so that is pretty cool. And the final feature that I really appreciate, and I'd like to shake the hand of whatever fellow at Nerf came up with this little knob on the side locks the rail. Slightly. To prevent it from wobbling or from coming loose on the sides, as Nerf attachments are wont to do. It tightens up the rail so it's not going to pop off sideways, which was the problem that I was having with my rail-attached bayonets and stuff, is it was too loose, and I finally put in screws to do what this little knob does. So that's neat. So your fancy, expensive, high-tech gizmo is not going to fall off because you're running around or get bumped or something. With enough force, it'll still come loose, but it's definitely stronger. So, let's check out this night vision capability. I have no idea how well you're going to be able to see this, but it does in fact work. It is in fact functional night vision. That is pretty stinking cool. Like I said, it's not the greatest granularity, but I mean, it's better than nothing. You can see at least a little detail of what's in front of you, whereas your opponent could not. The downside, of course, is since it's not a sealed mount, it doesn't mount, sealed to your eyes, you've got the green light shining into your face, which kind of gives away your position. And since it's also, the cheap version of this kind of technology, it does have red lights shining out the front, which are creating what the low light can then pick up, which also rather gives away your position, but it doesn't give the details of your positions, whereas you could actually see what is there. They can just get a vague idea of where your blaster is, so it definitely gives you a distinct advantage still, and it's just really, really cool. So there you have it. The Nerf, what do they call this thing? Well, there you have it. The Nerf Day-Night Zoom Scope, and I love it. I am going to be seeing how feasible it is going to be to paint it. I don't know how easily it will come apart. I would like to, of course, get it in my colors, but not if it's going to damage it, which I kind of think it's not intended to come apart. Sure doesn't look like it, but we will see. I'm sure I've said it before, and I'm sure I will say it again. I greatly appreciate that Nerf makes it so easy to disassemble their product. They could very easily make it not the case. They could solvent weld everything together and make it so it's practically impossible to get it apart, but they don't. They make it so that we can get it apart, and that is actually really, really nice of them. So I'm going to get this painted up, and this is probably going on ire. Oh, yes. Oh yes, Captain likes that, yes. Yeah, it came apart, no problem. Had to desolder the battery housing, but that was the only thing. Negative and a positive, easy to put back on. Got it vinyl dyed. It took the vinyl dye just fine because it was all pretty much, didn't really have any detailed paint on it much to interfere with that. Put it all back together, didn't have any problem, came right back up again. And I was kind of afraid it was going to be, it looked a little bit too bulky on Ire, but Ire is such a bulky blaster with all of her attachments anyway, I think it actually fits in wonderfully. I will probably move this back over to here, so that I can use the iron sights as well as the scope. Like I said, the scope's not the most practical thing in the world, it's obviously Nerf quality, and but it's still night vision. On a Nerf gun, which is fabulous. I haven't seen that since one of the early HVZs, when my Sergeant Major actually put, I think it was $1,000 night vision scope on his Strifle, which was hilarious, but it worked. We could see the zombies and they couldn't see us. So this one's obviously not nearly that quality, but for the price that I paid for it, it's absolutely magnificent. I got it on Cyber Monday, so I think I paid $17 for it. And it was worth every penny of that, and I am super happy with it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to actually running that, possibly. We'll see. Don't play in the really dark a whole lot. It might come in handy if we ever go back to Fort Worden and are paying in the tunnels, so we'll see. But, yeah, there's my thoughts on that. If any of you have it or were thinking about getting it, I highly recommend it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just a nifty gizmo, and you know how I feel about gizmos. So, there you have it. If you have any thoughts, concerns, questions, suggestions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. And as always, thank you for watching.